What is going on, folks? I am Goat, and welcome back to the breakdown. So, I just recorded this entire video without my mic on. Smart me. Good call, right? Because I'm a dum-dum. So, to my notes, basic bitch notes, and then we're going to discuss this stuff. So, yeah. Let's just go game by game, and man, I thought this was going to be way worse of a week than it was. So, Eagles at Texans, no shock. Honestly, the Eagles offense looks absolutely solid, but again, with the team that they're against, I mean, is that really a shocker? It's the Texans. I mean, you know, it's the Texans. Okay. I want to see the Eagles play a real team, like a really good, stout team, and beat them. If they can do that, I will be a believer. Right now, they're good at beating up little fucking kids on the fucking schoolyard. Yeah, they're 8-0, man. I get it. They beat the Texans 29-17. But I'm having a really hard time seeing them as a great team. They're a very good team. I would not sit here and say that I think that they are anything to scoff at. I think that they have the ability to be good teams, but until they do, I'm having a hard time believing it, right? So next game, Colts at Patriots, pure pickle race. Didn't really know who was going to look good in this one, but I figured the Patriots probably wouldn't. Good God, was I right. That was pure defensive domination on the Colts. Patriots ended up beating this game 26-3 over the Colts. Colts look rough, especially since, head coach gone, and they brought in their old center, Jeff Saturday, who was coaching high school football, and now he's brought in an offensive coordinator that's literally never called a fucking NFL game. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Every time you think, like, it can't get any worse with the Colts, because Frank Reich has been there for 4 years, he's had 4 different quarterbacks. How do you expect success? The man takes the job with Andrew Luck as his quarterback, and then I think it was the beginning of preseason, Andrew Luck retires, so he gets Jacoby Brissett. Next year he gets Phillip Rivers. Next year he gets Carson Wentz. This year he gets Matt Ryan. All 4 were, like, what the hell? Good God. I think it's crazy. I think it's absolutely bonkers that Frank Reich got fired over this when they haven't even really given him any kind of level of consistency from the front office to work with. But, such is the game. So, here's a game I got wrong. Packers at Lions. Good God, the Packers offense looks like ass. The Lions beat the Packers 15-9. Aaron Rodgers doinked a fucking ball off of a lineman or a linebacker's face mask. Threw another ball right into the path of a crossing linebacker. Had 3 interceptions on the fuck game. The fuck Packers look terrible. They're absolutely terrible. It's fucking atrociously bad. So I don't even know what's going on. I love that team, but goddamn, I don't even know what's going on. Aaron Rodgers is just being snarky as ever, and is just kind of getting on my fucking nerves, to be honest. And I usually like Aaron Rodgers. He's kind of been an underdog kind of player with the way his early part of his career went. But good God, dude needs to stop acting like an ass and start owning this shit, right? Just saying. Next game, Chargers at Falcons. Chargers took this game 20-17. This came down to a last-ditch field goal. That's what it was. The Falcons are feisty, but they haven't been able to close out games. The Chargers are injury-prone like a motherfucker, and Brandon Staley is calling some very weird shit for that game. And I feel really bad for Justin Herbert because I don't see a level of continuity for a fucking elite level quarterback like him. I just don't, man. Like, I feel really bad for Justin Herbert in this because, like, he's just got no offensive continuity with that game between injuries and then weird play calling. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing. So, but yeah, Chargers took this game 20-17. Absolute stunner of a game for me. Bills at Jets. The Jets defensively absolutely smoked the shit out of the Bills in this game. Without question, without hesitation, they just beat the shit out of them. Okay? That's what I can say about this one. The fuck is going on with this stupid ass program? Go away, go away. Thank you. Oh, love that. Love it. Okay. So, but yeah, the Jets beat the fucking Bills 20-17 last minute field goal. Or last minute, let's say this. They got him with a field goal and then shut him the fuck down, shut the Bills down, and Josh Allen may come out of this injured because of their the Bills' last drive. His elbow did inhuman, flexible things that just, ouch, which is going to make next week's game even that much more interesting to pick, but it is what it is. So, yeah, Bills were just rough this game. Josh Allen was rough. They've got no running game to speak of, and it's really starting to fucking catch up with them, sadly. Yeah. So, next game, Vikings at Commanders. Not a surprise, but the Commanders are feisty as hell with Taylor Heinicke back here. What's hurting them is that defensively, they're not completely locked down, and offensively, they are a little sporadic. But this game came down to a last-ditch effort that just didn't come through. 20-17, Vikings took the game over the Commanders. The next game, absolutely no fucking shock whatsoever. Panthers at Bengals. Bengals just smoked the shit out of the Panthers, 42-21. I mean, the Panthers are just rough, dude. I mean, considering they benched their quarterback and put fucking Baker Mayfield back on the field at halftime because they were getting bullied so goddamn bad. Yeah, no. Next game. This is why I have trust issues with the Raiders, man. Raiders blow another big-ass lead. Jaguars beat the Raiders 27-20. This is why we can't have nice things. Got a roster like the Raiders. The interior of the defense looks like crap. The Raiders secondary looks like crap. The Raiders O-line looks like crap. Derek Carr has no goddamn continuity, and I don't want to hear any bitching. This isn't me taking up for the Raiders, but man, I've seen so much social media posting about just get rid of Derek Carr, get rid of fucking this and that and this and that, and Derek Carr's a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. You know what? You go from like, I think he got drafted, 2012, 2013, so he's like 9-10 years in the league. You go through that period of time with 6 different coaches. Okay, and you tell me if you can sort out offensive schemes. Because as of yet, that poor bastard has had no goddamn continuity. It reminds me of Alex Smith, honestly, in his career. Alex Smith looked like trash until he got Jim Harbaugh, and then all of a sudden he looked great. Then he went to fucking Kansas City. I mean, more game manager style, but that's really more what Derek Carr is too. But you give him a good coach, and he looks really good. Like, you gave when Derek Carr got John Gruden. First season, not great. Second season, hey, give him some fucking continuity with a good game plan and, you know, good coaching staff there to kind of help put it all together. And all of a sudden, boom, right? Looks good. No continuity, looks like crap. Dolphins at Bears. The Bears are showing fucking life. The problem is that the Bears defense just does not have enough tools. They don't have enough pieces to put shit together properly and end games. But to go against the Dolphins in a basically non-defensive game, with the Dolphins only winning the game 35-32, says a lot about the resiliency of the Bears. And man, I can't wait to see if they can actually get some good pieces on this team to help support Justin Fields and to stiffen up that defense. Oh my God, dude, the Bears have got such potential. They really do. They're not there yet. Seahawks at Cardinals. The surprise team of the year for me as far as the NFC West. I honestly thought that the 49ers were really going to be the really good team. I didn't know because of Trey Lance. But with Trey Lance out, Jimmy Garoppolo back in, you already know that guy can take you to the fucking Super Bowl. He's not the best QB out there, but he's a game manager, and he's exactly what fits the scheme for Shanahan. Although Garoppolo himself may not necessarily like it, he's the right guy for the job right now. Let's put it that way. So I really thought the 49ers were going to be ahead of even the Rams in the NFC West. And boy, was I wrong. The Seahawks, surprise team of the fucking year. Seahawks beat the Cardinals 31-21. Seahawks look really good. Seahawks defense, young defense, looking really fucking good out there, surprisingly. Geno Smith is looking really fucking good. It's looking like he basically picked up where Russell Wilson let the fuck off and said, fuck it, I got this. So, and the Cardinals' inconsistencies are just biting him in the ass. time and time again, you got fucking, you got Kyler Murray over there yelling at fucking D-Hop on the sideline, yelling at run backers, your running backs yelling at the fucking coach. I mean, just fucking throwing hissy fits, and the defense is sporadic at best. I mean, I just don't even know what to say about the Cardinals. They're good and they're not. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, my note says the Seahawks are slowly and methodically controlling their destiny, and boy, if that ain't the goddamn truth of it. Next game, pure fucking pickle race. Last year's Super Bowl winner with the year before Super Bowl winner. Rams at Buccaneers. Buccaneers come up with a surprise end field goal to win the fucking game. What do you say? Well, a surprise end score. I can't remember if it was touchdown or field goal, but either way. I think it was a touchdown, actually. But either way, I mean, both teams are playing like ass. Both teams are probably out of the fucking playoffs, truth be told. Like, unless they just win out the rest of the fucking season, I don't see any way that the Buccaneers or the Rams are going to finish in a solid enough fashion that they could possibly win. Like, and that says a lot, and I'm going to explain that when we go into where the divisional standings are, because the Buccaneers are leading their division. I just don't know how that's going to stay that way. Next game, Titans at Chiefs. This is a weird one, because the Chiefs' first drive of the game looked impeccably good. Okay, really did. Looked great. Aside from the fact they came away with a field goal. Looked really fucking good. And then from that point on, basically about halfway through the first quarter, all the way until the middle of the fourth fucking quarter, the Chiefs looked like ass on the offensive side of the ball. They just, Mahomes had to throw the ball 68 fucking times. They pretty much just threw in the towel on the run after the first drive. And they just looked crazy out of sorts. Their fucking Titans defense came in with such an impeccable scheme against the fucking Chiefs. I mean, it was impressive how the Titans were just kind of bullying the Chiefs offense up until the fourth quarter. And that's the thing with the NFL is you got to play 4 quarters, sometimes 5. In this case, 4.5. You're coming into this game with a pretty stout defense and your backup quarterback, which normally you wouldn't think would make much of a difference with a run first, RPO style quarterback that's primarily playing off of play action. But the fact that they really just don't have any reliable receiving core whatsoever is a huge question mark. Derrick Henry ran for, and pardon me, I have no internet right now, so I can't look anything up, but Derrick Henry had either just under or just over 100 yards of rushing. I mean, he was very dominant when he was running, but they kept pulling him off the fucking field. It's crazy. Like when he'd start to get hot and they'd pull him off the fucking field. I'm like, the fuck are they doing, man? I think honestly, this is one of the few times when you actually lean on something. If it's working, you make the other team stop it. So although I don't like the fact of them running Derrick Henry 30, 35, 40 fucking times a game, if that's what's winning the fucking game and the other team just literally cannot stop it, I don't understand the pulling them out of the game like that. It doesn't make any sense. So, but the Titans defense finally wavered. Mahomes literally came back for, using his legs, getting the tying score, or well, the touchdown, and then a really, really questionable, illegal contact or holding call that was in the end zone on Kelce with one of the corners or safeties. They got tied up with each other. The defensive player obviously made the first contact, got a hold of Kelce's face mask and his shoulder pads, and he was holding the fuck out of him, so it is what it is. Kelce ends up getting a hold of his face mask and ripping his fucking helmet off. So I think that really shouldn't have been called, or called, illegal contact on both. Or illegal use of hands to the face on both as offsetting penalties, and just replay the down. So yeah, I mean, the plausibility of them not getting a 2-point conversion, sure, but that would have only made this a 1-point different game, because this was no time burn on the clock, because it was during a 2-point conversion. It ended up having 3 fucking penalties, gave him 3 shots. Just a weird fucking game. But the Chiefs end up pulling a last minute fucking win out on the game, 20-17 over the Titans. Crazy game. Final game of the week was Ravens at Saints. Ravens convincingly took this game 27-13. The Saints offense just never looked like they were in the game. The Ravens offense didn't really look amazing, but they didn't really need to be, because the defense was just owning the Saints. So no matter how good the Saints defense was doing, unless they just shut them down, which they were not going to do against Lamar, because Lamar just did what he wanted. Yeah, Saints just had no offensive answers for this game whatsoever. So my picks for the week, I thought this was going to be atrociously bad. I went 10-3. So as of right now, I am 59-27 for the season since week 4. So not the worst, not the best. I'm about 45% win rate right now. So given I'm picking every fucking game of the season, okay. This week, I'm asking for a mulligan on one game, and we'll get to it, but I'm asking for a potential flip of my pick if circumstances change, because I don't know what they are right now. Okay? So week 10 picks are going to go as such. Falcons at Panthers. I'm taking Falcons on this one because the Panthers are just entirely too inconsistent. And I think the Falcons have got it in themselves to beat the Panthers. Next game, Seahawks at Buccaneers. I do not see the Buccaneers standing up to the Seahawks, not at the level that they're playing at right now. Could I be wrong? Sure. That's any given fucking Sunday, right? But I don't think I am. After that, Lions at Bears. Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh my. Lions at Bears. I think Bears are taking that one. I don't think that the Lions defense can handle Justin Fields. I just don't. And I think the Bears defense has got just enough to keep the Lions under control. Next game, Browns at Dolphins. Now, do I think that the Browns defensive line can control the destiny of what the defense is going to do? Or as far as what the Dolphins offense is going to do? Yes, I do. I think that the Browns D-line can absolutely control the trenches. I think that they can get to Tua. I think that they can fuck his day up. I think that they can fuck up the running game. I think they can contain him. But if they scheme according to that, the secondary of the Browns is not really that amazing. And I think that the Browns are just not going to be able to go pound for pound against short slant routes, stick and waddle or Tyreek or both in the slot and just doing little fucking, just little dump passes here and there. As long as Tua gets rid of the ball quick, the Browns are just not going to be in this game because I don't see their offense going against the Dolphins whatsoever. So I think Dolphins are going over Browns. Broncos at Titans. I don't think the Broncos stand a chance in hell at winning this game. I think the Titans defense is entirely too strong for the Broncos, and I think even offensively, the Titans have just enough to get over the hump with the Broncos defense. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring affair unless Tannehill's back, but I still think that, the Titans are really good at beating bad teams, and the Broncos are definitely a bad team with a good defense. It is what it is. Vikings at Bills. This is where I'm going to ask for my mulligan. Because of the potential injury to Josh Allen's elbow, because he's got like a ligament damage right here that he was going in for an MRI and an ultrasound, I think ultrasound or sonogram or whatever the hell it is, where they scan for like nerve problems and shit, whatever the fuck that is. But he was undergoing procedures today, not going to have results till tomorrow, so I have no idea what we're looking at. But as of right now, if Josh Allen is back and he's in a position to play the game, I think that Josh Allen will absolutely control the game over the Vikings defense, because I think the Vikings defense is just soft, right? So I would like to pick the Bills, but if you've got Case Keenum instead of Josh Allen, you don't have 3/4 of the Bills' offense available. You just don't. I mean, they have no run game to speak of. They've got good receivers, but they don't have much of an O-line, which is why Josh Allen is forever fucking running whenever he wants to, because the line's always collapsing. And Case Keenum has had next to no fucking realistic snaps with his first team on the field in a game. Because Josh Allen, I think he's only ever been hurt in his first season, so he's always on the field. He's always taking the reps. So I don't know if Keenum's going to be ready for this game. And if he's not ready for this game, I think the Vikings are going to beat it. Because the Vikings have a hell of a run game. They've got a hell of a strong offense. They've just got a slightly soft defense. So if the Bills have Josh Allen and he's good to actually play and he's not playing all dinged up and fucked up, I think the Bills will take the game. But if they don't have Josh Allen in a good playable position, I think the Vikings will win this game. So this is my one wishy-washy pick. It really is. I'm asking for a mulligan. This would probably be the only time in the season I'll do this, maybe. Injuries always do this, especially at quarterback. Yeah, I think I don't know, man. I mean, this could go either way, depending on where Josh Allen comes into the equation. So, Josh Allen good, Bills. Josh Allen no good, Vikings. Next game, Texans at Giants. Giants. I just don't see the Texans being a huge threat to the Giants. It's possible, but I don't see it. Jaguars at Chiefs. Although the Jaguars are feisty, they're also very prone for fucking stupid ass mistakes. And usually if they have a good game, they also have a bad game right afterwards. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. The Chiefs defense was looking highly stout against the fucking Titans offense. That's not saying a lot, but they were looking very stout against the offense, against Titans offense. And the Chiefs offense, I think, is just well more than the Jaguars defense can handle. So yeah, going Chiefs. Next game, Saints at Steelers. Saints. Here comes a super duper pickle race game. Colts at Raiders. Interim head coach. Untested fucking offensive coordinator. Basically bad offense with a questionable defense, as in the Colts, versus the struggling Raiders. God help me. I don't give a shit how atrocious the odds look. This will be the last time I pick the Raiders if they don't win this game. I'm picking Raiders specifically because everything about the Colts is in flux right now. I don't know what the fuck they're going to look like, but I don't think it's going to be good. The next game, Cardinals at Rams. I think even though the Cardinals have been very inconsistent, I think the Rams' inconsistencies have been more on the offense, and the Rams' defense the Cardinals' defense isn't terrible. It's just inconsistent. And considering the Rams have been very one note as far as like Cooper Kupp and then pray like fuck somebody else can get open and catch a fucking ball. Akers hasn't been looking very good. The O-line hasn't been looking very good. I mean, they've got a good tight end, they've got a good receiver, and then the rest of it's kind of been mediocre this year. And that's a really crazy thing to say, but it is the truth. The thing that's going to give the Cardinals the fits is going to be the Rams defense, but I still think that the Cardinals have just enough to overcome what the Rams are producing right now. If it's anything like the Buccaneers game, I think the Cardinals are going to take it, but I think they're going to eke it the fuck out. So next game, Cowboys at Packers. I don't even think this is a fucking question. I think the Cowboys defense is going to dominate the Packers offense, and I think the Cowboys offense is just going to overwhelm the Packers defense. So I think it's Cowboys all the way. Next game is an interesting game to me. Chargers at 49ers. Got two West Coast California teams, man. The Chargers they've got injuries all over the place. They've got weird play calling going all over the place, but they're not a bad record, right? Like they've got a lot of fight to them. They've got a hell of a roster. They've got problems though. And I feel really bad for Justin Herbert because in my opinion, I look at Justin Herbert as a very elite level quarterback on a really fucking questionable team. Okay, like legit. I don't think anybody could question that Justin Herbert is a really, really good quarterback on a very questionable team. They've got a pretty good defense, which is what's been really honestly keeping them in games. But they're going against the 49ers defense, which has been really good this season, although their record isn't showing it. The 49ers have just got a hell of a stacked roster. And then on the offensive side of the ball, they got this two-headed monster of a running back squad that could literally both be on the field. And they've been doing just enough to really cause headaches for teams. I think the 49ers are going to take this game. I think it's going to be close, but I think the 49ers are going to take this game. And then the final game is going to be Commanders at Eagles. Although the Commanders are looking feisty as fuck with Heineke back there, I don't think that the defense has enough to stand up to the Eagles offense. I just don't. So I think Eagles are going to take that game. So please permit me my mulligan with the Bills Vikings, because that is a big, weird call to try to make. So aside from that, folks, I want to thank you very much. This has been the Week 9 breakdown. So yeah, we'll catch you in the next one, all right?